أرضك هذه؟
هاي أرضي أنا، هاي زكوتي وهاي الرجال تحتي وهاي أرضي. أرضي
شو أرضك هذا؟ أنا بوري لك هسه.
شو توريني يا زلمة؟
أنا بوري لك هسه أنا.
يا ربي.
ألو خياليم.
شو خياليم؟
ألو
مالك؟
شو بدهم؟
يلا روح من هون. يلا روح. ولكم أرضي يا جماعة، أرضي. ساكت. شو أعمل يا ناس؟ شو أعمل يا ناس؟ أرضي راحت يا ناس.
Combatants for Peace izraeli szervezet azért harcol különösen a telepesek ellen, mert azt gondolják, hogyha ezek a telepek tovább terjeszkednek, és hogyha összekötik majd mondjuk Jeruzsálemet és Cisjordániát telepek folytonosságával, akkor már teljesen lehetetlen lesz a két államot külön választani, ha egyszer ez megtörténne. Tehát a két állam teóriája az örökre el fog veszni, és szerintük ez az egyetlen út a békéhez.
100 people were there, another 100 soldiers were there. What did it change?
First of all, I do that because I believe I have to. It has an effect on the ground. Even the very fact that the authorities know that they cannot just do whatever they want without anybody knowing about this. You have to realize that the Israeli public doesn't know anything about what's going on. Unless there are Israelis there who convey that to the Israeli media. So this is also part of what we try to do.
Can you tell me the Combatants for Peace idea about the settler issue and problem?
If they state clearly that what they want is a kind of apartheid state, if they had said that we want the kind of state that doesn't care about the international community, a state in which different people have different sets of rights, that would be fine. But it's not what they do. They talk about democracy, they accuse people that oppose the settlement project that they are anti-democratic, but they don't admit that the project itself is anti-democratic in its root. Unfortunately, the leaders in Israel tend to hide these very basic facts from the public. They don't talk about where they're leading us. They don't say what's going to happen in 5-year time if the situation remains the same. And the Israelis don't really know what's going on here, what the occupation means for people like in that village. And they don't want to know. They're tired. They don't believe that Palestinians could ever be partners for peace. There's a sense of despair. Palestinian terror attacks in the early 2000s contributed greatly to this despair. I think Israel is being suicidal. Seriously, I think we are on a road to self-destruction. Which means that most Israelis want Israel to be the state of the Jews or a Jewish state. And they see what's going on, but most of them, I think, just stick their head in the sands. They are afraid of terror attacks, afraid of Qassam missiles, afraid of another war, afraid of Iran, afraid of many, many different things. And I don't want to ridicule that. I understand these fears. They are warranted. But the thing is, are we going to allow fear become our policy? I think that's wrong. It just keeps us in the same place, and you know, another round of violence, and another round of violence, and another one, and another one, and it's endless.
Ebben a házban mészárolták le a Fogel családot. Ez volt Itamár egy évvel ezelőtti nagy tragédiája, hogy 2 szülőt, anyukát, apukát és 4 gyereküket 2 szomszédos arab faluból való, gyakorlatilag tínédzser, 17 és 18 éves fiú hidegvérrel, késsel, sabat estéjén lemészárolta.
The camera apparently didn't spot because it was probably just a blind. If you look over here, the blind spot underneath is where they came up from. That's a security road. So when a terrorist touches the fence, it will set off a warning sign in our control room. So apparently they came under here. The fence was lifted up from the bottom. They came to this window over here, which there were no bars at that time on the window. They lifted up the blind, this plastic blind, and they spotted one of the little boys in the house. They ran through the door was open. They locked the door from the inside. They slaughtered the boy in that bedroom over there. They went to the next bedroom, slaughtered another little boy. The mother was up, and they killed the mother. And the father was sleeping with the little baby in his arms. They murdered the father in the bed. They left the house and the baby was crying. They noticed they didn't kill the baby. They came back to murder the 3-month-old baby. We've been through a lot. Itamar, we suffered 20 people murdered here. But this thing was so brutal. A little 3-month-old baby stabbed in the heart.
It's very rare that both our sons are home. Very rare. One is in the army. One finished the army and was up north. So he's been helping. He's been doing a lot of maintenance for us. Wow. Yeah. Oh.
From where is their anger, or I don't know how to call it?
Their anger?
Yeah.
You know what? First of all, I don't focus on any of that. I focus on what I have to do to bring tikkun olam to the world, to rectify the world. Our job is being a light unto the nations and not always focusing on all these other distractions. Our job is to be a light unto the nations.
Yeah, I understand, but because many things have happened here.
Yes, that's why all the more so you have to be a light unto the nations. And the nations, as you know, are waking up and seeing the truth, because there is only one truth. This is the land of Israel. I mean, there's no way there could be a question mark about what the identity of this land is.
But what can you do with their feelings of wanting their own country?
They're welcome. They're welcomed to have a free life here. If they don't like it, they can go to Syria, or they can go to Egypt, and they could enjoy their lives there. It's up to them. This is the land of Israel. It's the only country in the world for the Jewish people, and I'm not willing to give up the only thing I have, because without Israel, no Jew in the world is safe. If you give up the highlands, you're exposing the lowlands to the missiles, and I'll give you a perfect example of that. When Gush Katif, the 30 settlements in Gaza, Jewish settlements that had been there for 33 years, when they were evacuated for peace, what did Israel get in return? Those places that were Jewish communities became the springboard for Hamas launching pads, launching missiles not only into Sderot, not only into the lower regions, but these missiles are reaching Ashkelon, Ashdod, Yavne. It's only a matter of time till long-range missiles reach the center. All settlements are growing today, in leaps and bounds. We've reached 350,000 people living out in the heartland. And if we're talking about 10 years ago, or even 3 years ago when freezes were imposed, it's only growing and growing against the odds. And that's only because we're law-abiding citizens that serve in the army, and we are the government, and the government is us because we're citizens of the government. It's kind of like a Jekyll and Hyde. On one hand, they're saying, no, we don't promote building, we want peace. And on the other hand, they're building 300 here, 500 here, 1,000 there, and they're building a lot more than they're tearing down. That in the end, he who laughs last, laughs best. And we know that we have a job to be here, fortifying the land, and for all you know, we could be the ones to save them.
Az itamári teleptől nem messze a Békeharcosai nevű izraeli szervezet zsidó és palesztin aktivistáival autózunk Cisjordániában, amikor hírek érkeznek mind a palesztin, mind az izraeli mobiltelefonokra.
الرئيس المستوطنين قتلوا
The
فلسطينيين.
president speaking, Mahmoud Abbas. The settler killed one Palestinian people in South Hebron.
ويعيثون فسادا بحماية
And we
حكومتهم.
make a lot of a problem protected by the soldiers.
Another message. قتل مواطن وإصابة آخر برصاص مستوطنين غرب السموع.
What can you read in the Israeli sites?
An Israeli truck driver shot to death two Palestinians that probably tried to steal his car nearby Hebron. The Israeli driver said that the two blocked his way, took him by force from the truck, and the police trying to check if they maybe tried to kidnap him as well. One of the reasons I got in Combatants for Peace is because I wanted to see Palestinians and see what they hear, what they see, what they are being through, what they are telling about the story. This is one of the reasons. Because I felt that my media, maybe if you search really good, you can find a lot of information. Maybe in 2 days they'll say something about it that makes it more clear, maybe different. Maybe what is written here is the right thing, I don't know. But the first news that you hear, and that's what you collect into yourself and your acknowledgement, is a one way of looking at the things, and the titles are coming before the facts.
Yeah, I can see them.
ممكن بدك تشوف البيت من هون عند هاي.
All this land, it's military area closed just for the Palestinian people. Military area closed, and this is the land for the Palestinians, and it is with Tabo.